welcome to the return of love. Hello, welcome my beloveds, and welcome to Return to Love. My name's Bernadette Hall, and this space is for you who has walked through the fires of grief, loss, heartache, and ready to take their way back to love, beginning with self-love. So just to tell you a little bit about myself, so I'm not going to hog on too much, but my own story into this world began with deep heartbreak and grief. I lost my son from leukemia when I was still a child myself, the pain no mother should ever experience and carry. I've lived through abusive relationships that's left me shattered, questioning my worth and my voice. There's been nights I didn't even know how I could go on, nights that I felt distant, even impossible. But here, it's something where I discovered, even in the darkest moments of grief, when you're in the abyss and, you know, it's like the sea of deadness. Even in the aftermath of heartbreak, returning to love is the kindest thing you can do for yourself. Not just love outside of you, waiting to arrive in someone else's arms, but love within you. The love that never leaves. The love that holds you when no one else can. The love that makes you whole again. Yeah, and that is a little bit of my story. And I'm here today to talk about my mission and vision of Return to Love. And it's to guide men and women, grievers and the heartbroken, back to themselves. But grief doesn't mean you are broken. Heartbreak doesn't mean that you are unworthy. Both are invitations to sacred initiations into remembering who the hell you are, into finding your wholeness, into finding your strength, and into finding the most important thing is your deepest truth, and that is you, when you will love yourself. So my vision for this space, for this, and something else that I'm going to talk about in a moment, is to create a sanctuary where your grief is honoured, your heartbreak is seen, and your healing is not rushed. Where rituals of self-love, practices and embodiment tools that can help you reconnect with your body, your soul and your spirit. I know, beautiful, isn't it? So practical path. So I'm going to talk now a little about in this podcast. See, a lot of people know me as a bit of a love witch. I don't know if you've ever heard of the film, the series. I absolutely love it. And I kind of feel myself within that energy sometimes, where I create simple but sacred practices what will help you in your daily life. I'll help you with self-love practices of reflections, affirmations, journaling, prompts to strengthen your heart so it doesn't feel broken. I will help you to feel embodied again. Things like nervous system practices, archetypal wisdom, breath work, things that have helped what really dig deep when you've got trauma and you don't know how to deal with it. But one of the other things that's really important is stories and teachings from your own story and from listening to others that have walked a similar path. And this is where change can really happen. Each episode that I'm going to be doing on here and in my community that I'm going to be mentioning about in one moment it's an invitation to soften you, to soften your breath, to soften you so you can move on, so you're not going to be frozen, you're not going to be in revenge or I need to do this, I need to do that, but you're going to be moving on at a deeper level where you're going to feel transformed. You're not going to be stuck in that pit of darkness, because I know what that's like and it's horrid. It's the worst feeling ever when nobody else is there, because at the end of the day, no one's going to come down and get you out. You've got to kind of get yourself out of that a little bit, and somebody can grab down and reach you. And that is the foundation of what I want to do, is that, so it is about speaking from your heart, and it is about being vulnerable, and it is about opening yourself up to something that you might have been longing for, but you didn't know it. And maybe you did know it, but you don't know how to take that first step. You don't know how to kind of sit with your grief and hug yourself. Because grief, there's nowhere for your story. There's nowhere for it to end. And heartbreak is the same. It leaves you a little bit raw and vulnerable. But you don't have to feel like that. You don't have to feel like that. And that is where I'm talking now about this new community on school, and it's called Return to Love. This is it's a gentle, safe space for you to be able to open up, to talk about some of your vulnerabilities if you feel you want to, and you're not going to be forced. It's not therapy, it's more than therapy. It's a transformation where you will finally have a space to understand why you feel the way you feel, to be able to process things peacefully or loudly if you want. There's no judgment, not from me and not from anyone else who is going to be in the group. And I offer you and I invite you to join. Currently it's a free membership, but I'm not sure how long it will be for that. So my darlings, my beloved people and friends and foes and queens and goddesses and warriors, I hope you've enjoyed this little 10-minute charade of conversations, and I will be in contact soon on my next podcast. Lots of love from me.